What have you seen from Virginia's defense? They play an odd front, but what do they do well?
Oh gosh, they do everything well. They're, you know, I know I say this. I said this before Notre Dame. I mean, these guys probably are the best defensive front that we will have seen. I watched their goal line package the other night, and nobody scores against them. NC State scored a touchdown. I mean, Miami got stuff down there. Louisville got stuff down there. Short yardage, nobody's gotten a first down. Really, North Carolina did by, they had to spread them out to do it. Their third down package, their nickel package, they give you a lot of different looks, and they're really fast. They have a couple of really good pass rushers. Chris Peace, number 13, was a freshman when I was there in 15. Has developed into a heck of a player, and they're down to down, in the freewheeling zone. They're hard to run. I think they're giving up 113 yards a game rushing, so they're hard to run the football against, and they've done a heck of a job there.
Dave Pay yesterday mentioned their physicality. Does that jump off when you're watching?
Yeah, I mean, they jump. The thing that jumps out for me is they jump off the ball, and they attack the line of scrimmage as well as anybody that we've played. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
What's the alternative? What can you do to counteract what they do well?
Well, we're going to do what we do. I think it is every week. We have to make people match us, and I never want to go into a game and have to match their speed and their tempo. I mean, we want to try to set that. We want to try to set the tone and the tempo and the physicality each week. So we'll do what we do, and hopefully we can get done what we need to get done.
This will probably be, I would think, one of the bigger games in recent Virginia football history. What sort of environment or atmosphere are you guys expecting to walk into?
Oh, I mean, when I was there, I can tell you a night game there, when you're winning, is really electric. I'm sure it will be close to sold out, if not sold out, and the crowd will be hyped. That hill will be full of students, and it'll be a great environment to play in.
Obviously, it's a new staff since you were there, but they're the surprise team in the ACC. You've seen some of those guys up close from when you were there. Are they better than someone like you expected? Knowing that program a little bit from not too long ago.
No, they, in 07 we had a team that went to the Gator Bowl, and Chris Long, Clint Sintum, and we had some pro guys on that defense. Eugene Monroe, Brandon Albert played for me on offense. They were first-round picks. Chris was a first-round pick. We had some pretty good teams. I mean, you get good players at Virginia now. It's very much like Stanford, only on the East Coast, and they've done a heck of a job recruiting and taking the players that were there, and at least what I've seen defensively. I haven't seen the offensive roster yet, so I don't know who's on there, but at least defensively, they've done a heck of a job developing that thing and getting it where they want to be.
Because of the academic standards, is it hard to recruit there? Was it hard to recruit there?
Well, it is. It isn't from the standpoint that what you can recruit, and you just know you can't recruit people who are not going to meet admission standards. So. It narrows. There's guys you wish you could go after, but it really narrows your focus, and in some respects makes it much easier because you end up not chasing a lot of what could be dead ends. So you're going after guys that can meet the academic requirements. And if they're good enough, which they usually are, so is everybody else in that respect. But you're not chasing a lot of dead ends from the standpoint that you're not going to be able to get them into school.
Has it opened up much since you've been there? Do you know?
That I do not know. That I don't know.
Malik Carter came in and gave a big lift to a running game that you have a hand in. Were you surprised, or how unexpected was the jolt he gave you guys on Saturday?
I'm going to tell you, he played tailback in our last scrimmage, in our last preseason scrimmage. The defense wanted to go live against those guys, and I had no idea who the kid was. I couldn't have picked him out in a crowd of two. So we're going really ones on both sides against the rest, So I was talking to the first little group of linemen, and I got done. I turned around, and this guy is running down the middle of the field, and there's no one around him against our first team defense. And I was like, holy shit, who is that? And then he broke another one. So now after watching that performance and watching him in practice last week, I was pretty confident about what he could do if we were able to get the ball to him. And no, he's a dynamic guy, and gives you a different dimension that that we can plug in and into different aspects of the offense. So he did a heck of a job for us.
And there's a different dimension to the coaching and usage of a guy like that now, right? With the redshirt role. I mean, how much has this changed how you guys look at game planning and utilizing true freshmen?
I tell Pat, let's just play him the rest of the year. Let's screw the 4 games. I mean, we might need him against Miami. But yeah, it's we did that with Salahuddin. He still has, I think, another game to go. So for those guys that are ready, it is a different dynamic, and you give them pieces that they can handle. You don't try to teach them the entire offense. You give them parts that they can handle, and you give them a select group of plays so that they can learn it, and then let them rock and roll. I haven't had any linemen really freshman linemen that we wanted to do that with, just because it'd be hard to break into the lineup that we have right now. So, yeah, it does present a different dimension for us.
What is having, when you have that speed and you get it going consistently, start getting those linebackers moving laterally, what does that do for the rest of the
Well, I
line
told
game?
Watts, we ran a couple of jets. I said, pound that ball inside. I said, make their ass run, and because we had them running. I said, let's pound that ball inside now. And really, those two big tailbacks now, I mean, they carry the flag for us. Our guys, those linemen up front do their job. They get targeted where they're supposed to be targeted, and those two backs do a great job. I mean, to me, those are the guys that really set the physicality and set the tempo of the run game. And those two tailbacks we have now, between the two of them, in between the tackles, because we didn't hand them any jet sweeps. Those two kids had, Q had 150 or 149, and Hall had, I think, 57 or 67, something like that. So between the two of them, they had 200 yards in between the tackles, which is, I wasn't sure we could do that. I was hoping to do at least that, and those two guys can pound it up inside now. They really set the tone and tempo of that run game.
Has your offensive lineman improved considerably in the last few weeks?
Tremendously, and I told them I think I said this the last time, our style of practice, I told them a few weeks ago we should, kind of at the beginning of October, I said we should start to hit our stride right now, and we have. Really cool thing was last Tuesday we had 0 mental errors in practice. Okay, in the Duke game, we had 1 mental error, and it was a lot. We were supposed to be tackled over, and Steph didn't go over. But that was the only mental error that we had in the game. So, and that's really how practice has been for the most part. They've got a great handle on the offense now. As compared to like Penn State, we probably had 15 mental errors. We had 200 yards before halftime and only blocked about half of it right. So we're starting to hit our stride that way. They understand the concepts now, and I mean, we can plug in just about anything that we want to, and they can get it. They can get targeted where they need to be targeted. And frankly, we've seen so much defense, and really from our defense in training camp, we saw a lot of defense, and I think the cumulative effect of that has really helped. So there's not much more that we can see schematically that we haven't seen.
Got any other surprise guys who will be helping the run game?
No,
this
I wish
weekend?
we had another. I wish we had 2 Valiques.